Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I never imagined that a quiet Tuesday morning could split my life open, but that's precisely what happened. My name is Theo, and I'm 28. I've spent the last 3 years with Adriana, living together in a modest downtown apartment for the past year and a half, believing we were building something substantial, something enduring. I thought I knew her, but sometimes the truth about the people we love hits us when we least expect it. It began 2 weeks before her graduation ceremony. I noticed a subtle shift in Adriana, small evasions, half answers when I asked about the event, a nervous change of subject whenever I inquired about logistics. One morning over coffee, I pressed her gently. So, Saturday at 2 p.m., right? Should I pick up flowers for your mom beforehand? Her cup rattled as she stirred too aggressively. Maybe it's better if you don't come. I set down my phone slowly, trying to mask my disbelief. What? It's going to be crowded, sure, but we've been planning this for months. I took the day off work for this. She wouldn't look at me. The weight of silence confirmed my suspicion. Something was profoundly wrong. The following days were heavy with tension. She returned from her final exams, eyes distant, scrolling endlessly through her phone. When I reached for her hand, she pulled away, briefly, apologetically. Did your professor like your final project? I'd ask, trying to bridge the silence. Yeah. Want to celebrate? Maybe that Italian place you like. I'm tired. Adriana, talk to me. What's going on? Nothing. I'm just stressed. Stop hovering. I wasn't hovering. I was watching the woman I loved disappear before me, fragment by fragment. 2 days later, her parents came for dinner. I had met them no more than 5 times in 3 years. Patricia, her mother, barely spoke, and Richard, her father, had this unsettling way of looking past me, like I was furniture in his home. I had made lasagna, set the table with care, hoping for an ordinary evening, some semblance of familial warmth. Adriana, however, was tense, laughing too loudly at her father's banal comments about the weather. So, Adriana tells us you work in IT support? System administration? Richard asked, cutting his food with surgical precision. Actually, I manage, I said, trying to convey the truth of my work without confrontation. He nodded, a gesture of disappointment barely concealed. Nathan, her ex, the golden standard she had dated through most of college, the name that hovered over every interaction, unspoken but ever present. Nathan is doing very well for himself, Richard continued. Just bought a place in River Oaks. Patricia chimed in, her voice soft but deliberate. Such a shame how things ended between you two. You were so good together. I felt Adriana squeeze my hand beneath the table, but she said nothing. Absolutely nothing. Richard, oblivious or indifferent to the tension, continued. We always thought you two would end up married. He comes from such a good family. I set down my fork. Of course. No offense intended. Theo, Adriana said quietly, her warning subtle. What am I supposed to sit here while your parents reminisce about how perfect your ex was? Patricia's face went cold. There's no need to be rude. I'm being rude? I asked. I cooked dinner, and now I'm listening to you talk about how great your daughter's ex is at our table. It's my apartment. Adriana's words were barely above a whisper. It's my apartment. The room fell silent. Richard and Patricia exchanged a glance that carried more weight than any words. Within 5 minutes, they left. Patricia hugged Adriana but ignored me entirely, while Richard departed without a word. Adriana began washing dishes frantically, as if speed could erase the tension. I asked gently, Are you going to talk about what just happened? They're old-fashioned. They don't mean anything by it, she said, soap dripping from her hands. I pressed further. Your dad literally compared me to your ex at our dinner table. Adriana, why? How long have you known they don't like me? Dish soap spinning from her hands. What do you want me to say? That my parents don't like you? Fine, they don't. They think I could do better. They think Nathan was better for me. Are you happy now? I swallowed the sting. Have you been hiding me from them this whole time? Her eyes didn't meet mine. I didn't want to deal with their judgment. So instead of standing up for you, I kept you hidden. It's not that simple. It really is, Theo. She turned back to the dishes. Silence stretched across the apartment. The week that followed was a slow unraveling. Adriana spent long hours at the library, returning home late, exhausted, distant. One night at 2 a.m., I found her texting someone in the bathroom, laughing softly in the way she used to with me. "Who are you texting?" I asked the next morning. "Lauren, she's having boy problems." Her dismissal stung more than the dishonesty. The morning of her graduation arrived. Adriana was already dressed, perfectly composed, makeup flawless, phone glued to her hand. "You look beautiful," I said. She barely glanced up. "So, are we really not going to talk about this?" "Talk about what? About me not being invited? About your parents treating me like I'm beneath you? About Nathan still being relevant?" Her face hardened. She set her phone down with a sharp click. "Fine. You want to know? My parents don't like you. They don't think you're good enough. They think I'm wasting my time with someone who has no real ambition, no family money, nothing to offer. They like Nathan, always have. Honestly, sometimes I think they might be right." The words hung between us, heavy and suffocating. I simply said, "I understand." Her calm faltered. "What? That's it. That's it. You've told me everything I needed to know." She left, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the picture frames. I sat for 5 minutes, staring at the coffee table, absorbing the gravity of the moment. Then I packed. 3 hours later, the apartment felt hollow, my life compressed into 4 trips to my car. Clothes, books, gaming setup, personal documents. Everything I had built in that space under her name, her parents' money, my place in her life, gone. I left a note on the kitchen counter. "Good luck with everything." I didn't block her number. I didn't send a dramatic text. I just left. That night, I crashed at my friend Leo's place. "Dude, what happened?" he asked, helping me with boxes. "Uninvited from her graduation because her parents like her ex better. And you just left?" What else was I supposed to do? Around 7 p.m., my phone erupted. 12 missed calls, 20 texts, ranging from confusion to anger to panic. Adriana, her parents. None of it mattered. I didn't respond. I sat on Leo's couch, eating takeout pizza, navigating a swirl of anger, sadness, relief, mostly fatigue. Then came a call from an unknown number. "Richard." "Theo, where are you? Adriana is... she's saying strange things. She's very upset. We need to talk." "I don't think we have anything to talk about," Richard pleaded. "She won't stop crying. We came over and the apartment was half empty. She told me you don't think she's good enough, that you think she's wasting her time with you. Were you aware?" A long silence passed. That's not exactly," Richard continued. "You may have expressed concerns about your financial situation, but you never told her to end things. You didn't have to. You just made it clear every time you saw us that I wasn't good enough. And she listened." "I'm not running away," I said firmly. "I'm walking away from a relationship where I was never going to be enough, where your daughter was ashamed of me. She's not ashamed of you. She's ashamed of me. She didn't invite me to her graduation. Think about what that means." I hung up. 10 minutes later, Adriana called from her mother's phone crying, "Theo, please, I love you. I made a mistake. Please don't do this. If you loved me, you would have defended me once in 3 years. I'm not coming back. I'm done." Her sobs echoed in my ears, but I didn't answer. For the first time in years, I felt a strange serenity, a peace that comes with finally acknowledging your worth. Days passed. I immersed myself in work, hung out with Leo, rebuilt a routine that had no Adriana-shaped voids. 3 months later, I met Zoe, a graphic designer whose laughter never belittled me, whose presence never made me small. One day we ran into Adriana at a coffee shop. She looked thinner, older somehow. "Theo," she said quietly, "I meant everything I wrote. I'm working on being better." I nodded. That was enough. I had moved on. Weeks later, her final message reached me. "I hope she treats you the way I should have. Take care of yourself, Theo." I replied once with calm finality. "I hope you find what you're looking for." One ensures serving in Serneyawaninon. Yashuri the Wasanisonon, there are second near the windier. Why the washing on her? in a kitchen year, the ring of the distortion, wonder seen on the one. There on that one case for where ceremony mon, subernary, manarero or narsernanim, differentiary theorization on, career mari, current servant or me, breed of a fit on, at ormarin in them, near an author name and humming at a renewal, near and your one can a urn. In 20 never been lily, gersemi, watering, toman on main you wash, conor son, certain no one seven, goodness as one. Cameron Sherman, Sir Centurion, Sir Yina Roman, Sir Yedi or Sterbine, Kushray weren't that dumb, certainly you want on Tinawani to me your Surreer one. Commercial was Sherman to my Surian, Creator was Suminam, Darny Yedi your Kurhandarin. Take care. Adriana graduated with honors. Nathan got engaged. Zoe and I moved in together. Her parents treated me like family from the very first dinner. And as I lay beside Zoe, feeling her warmth and quiet love, I understood something fundamental. The best decision of my life wasn't leaving Adriana. It was believing I deserved better. For the first time in years, I felt peace.